Welcome back to another Expanse episode. Tonight I'm thinking to try something new. I'm going to expand my reaction with some of my thoughts as the scenes progress. I cannot put too much of the episode inside my reactions. So let's try something new and see how that goes. Okay, so are we excited for the new episode? I know I am. Let's go. Okay, that freaking scene last episode was everything. I think Clarissa is getting an idea. Okay, this is a new level of familiarity between them. They really seem like a good pairing, character-wise. Broken souls and all that. Don't look, don't look. No, don't look.
The ones who could manage to leave probably did.
What, and they left the other ones to die?
Maybe it was.
no. She didn't have to kill Sin. She didn't kill him, you did.
This guy, the worst father of the year. I can feel the pain. I mean, I luckily I cannot, but can you imagine how must that feel? Everything that her body went through right now, and she's still not out of the trouble.
Did the Zemaya send any transmissions before they blew themselves up?
No,
Maybe they handed a sample to another ship before we spotted them.
I doubt it.
What, are they gonna figure out that there was a torpedo with a Epstein drive sliding away? No? No? Not yet.
Not going on a suicide mission just to save his girlfriend.
Alright, so I've read some articles, some like ideas about Bull replacing Alex in the 6th season. I have to say I don't see it. Like, Bull is a kind of an interesting character, I would say, but in the scope of what Rosie Crew is a mixture of Belt, Mars and Earth working together. So that was kind of what they are, like the spirit is for this story, that they can work together, right? So having Bull, that's another Earther on the ship, replacing Alex as a pilot or whatever, I just don't see it. Like, and Bull is not like a part of family. He's just like almost like a comic relief, or like added tension when it's necessary, when it's needed in the story maybe. So we have Holden and Amos that are from Earth, and we add another Earther, and then we just possibly have Naomi at the end. I don't see it. I don't see that line going further from what his role is at the moment. My best guess is that they're just gonna recast Alex, which would be the best course of action, because if they plan to do something else after the 6th season airs, it's best to have Alex in the story if he, of course, survives the 5th season or 6th season.
Sabaka, cut your fucking tools.
Yeah, I think it would be interesting to see how they're working with Marco now. What is the dynamic? The situation is tense between them. My goodness, she looks so predatorial, and I love it. Oh, she's eyeing the captain's chair. I wouldn't want her for a captain, my goodness, she looks so intimidating. Is he gonna trip again? Don't trip in front of so many people. I guess he got used to the gravity by now.
What I lack in experience, I will more than make up for in passion. We're directly responsible for enabling our forces to beat back the attacks.
Okay, that's
They
good. He's
saved
giving
millions
credit
of lives.
where credit is
Planet
due.
forever in the future of this planet, the future of humanity demands it.
He's right, he has passion. Oh, Baltimore keeps getting uglier. So only if you are in skyscrapers, you'll be fine. Everything else is under the water, I guess. Oh, hi, Eric. You doing good?
I know they're dead. But I know I'm dead too. You're the only bitch in here who thinks she's still alive.
Aside from this nice piece of story that they took from the books as well, but Clarissa has some striking eyes. Have you noticed that? Yellow. She has yellow eyes. That's cool. Look at that. Something is there.
I saw a case of that tequila.
Yeah, bring that.
Maybe we should take some of that.
Yeah. You can't hold the man that has the biggest stash on Rocinante to skip that tequila.
This is no different than the strike on Deimos. That was a bold move, and it was the right move.
Operation centers in Pittsburgh and Syracuse are both reporting significant uptakes in casualty admissions. Things are getting worse down there.
What just happened in this meeting? What? All that for a wrench? It better be a good wrench. Better be a damn good wrench to go through all that freaking pain. She'll think of something. She's a belter. They're used to having problems with technology and finding creative solutions. Okay, so that is a good wrench, right?
My name is Naomi Nagata. I don't know what channel this is, or even if it's working. I repeat, do not approach this ship.
I think they got a Los Compadres at that station.
I don't know how you can stay in that place.
Not everyone needs to be a compadre.
That's so cute.
The Belters struck our home. We need to strike back at theirs.
The casualties will be substantial.
Not compared to ours. Anaros deliberately targeted our citizens. Now he's using his own people.
We're all going to have blood on our hands before this is over.
Well, if it's more theirs, I'll take it.
All right, so I honestly cannot understand how this guy has become an admiral. He's lacking in morality, in ethics, in strategy, in politics. Just a couple of episodes ago, he was acting very cowardly. I mean, he turned his back on Avasarala when they both knew that the danger is coming just to save his own ass. Now he's claiming that he's willing to sacrifice innocent lives because he can take it. Okay, so SG here, the Secretary General, he's a new guy. Okay, I get it. He needs advice. But it seems to me he's smarter than this, than killing the whole station just because you're angry. All right, that's not good politics. That's not good anything. Those belters are humans like you are. They're not the ones who threw the rocks. So that's kind of like a bit unrealistic, in my opinion, to act like that. In a way, I can understand the rage, but this guy is like hiding behind whatever power he has. So now we just have to see what the SG here is going to do. But if he listens to this shitty admiral, we are probably going to see Avasarala taking over at the end of the season. So yeah, let's see what the SG is gonna do now. I mean, not really happy with this, Delgado. You're a shitty person. I don't understand how he became an admiral in the first place.
Naomi, we heard your call. We are burning hard for you now.
Alright, so that didn't work. But I'm wondering if that message that she sent is it just like one message, or is it going on repeat?
If you get this message, please return it. Tell James Holden I'm in distress.
She's thinking. You can see the wheels spinning in her head. her performance is Emmy worthy.
That's good.
She's incredible.
We had to be thorough.
As soon as
Here comes the tigress.
you can't help her.
Watch me.
Naomi is not about that ship.
How would you know?
Because she's dead.
My God, Drummer's gonna
I'm looking for him.
strangle
I want to
her.
know who is
Marina!
Okay, you would say she's very angry, eh? My goodness, the acting is just beyond the levels. It's not even the next level. It's just like in its own class. She found it.
Drama is captain. But only as long as she follows Mako's orders.
Yeah, she's waiting to jump in as soon as possible.
I was close to Naomi Nagata once.
It's hard to believe that.
Naomi stopped believing in what we was fighting for.
But this actress is also incredible. I mean, she's stunning. Plus, how can you make someone appear so menacing? Like Drummer, she appears angry all the time. But Corral is like, I'm genuinely terrified of her, and I'm just looking at the screen. That's a great performance. All these women they're incredible.
Could someone be on the ship? Could it be Naomi?
It can't be. It's impossible.
This is Naomi Nagata.
That's your belter ingenuity.
Tell James Gordon I'm in
Control. Alright, so you probably heard that the 5th book of the series is considered as one of the best. The reason why is that it focuses heavily on the characters, on the 4 main characters, which are all of them separately on their own journeys, and they are trying to find the way back. But in the midst of this catastrophe that's happening in the whole system at that same moment. So it's layered, but it's very, very character heavy. And I see that they kept this in the show. I've also heard some criticism about this, like that people just wanted to see the action starting from the beginning of the season, how it promised an apocalypse, and everybody wanted to see how will that play out. But you will see it. That's why we have another season. That's why we have 6th season. So don't hurry things up. I'm absolutely thrilled with this season. It's so powerful and it's not flashy at the same time, if that makes any sense. But the performances, Dominique Tipper as Naomi, Cara G as Drummer, and not sure what's the actress name for Corral, but these 3, this episode, I'm in awe. This is amazing television. I watch a lot of shows and I adore a good story, but it's so rare to find a layered story, a story that makes sense from every angle you look at it. So yeah, I absolutely love this episode. I didn't expect it's going to end on this note. I thought the story is going to progress a little bit faster, but I actually see what they're doing. Like they are focusing each character, each story on 1 or 2 episodes. And the next episode is probably going to be with Amos and Clarissa, heavily focused on them at least. So I'm really excited to have to see that. All right, so now let's slide into the after show.
Welcome back, Tying That Guy. Ty.
He's getting really comfortable in this role of a podcast host.
Now that we know Naomi made it, thank God. I was curious, how much longer does she have to live until she gets medical intervention.
What it would actually be
Probably
is just an
dehydrated.
incredibly severe sunburn.
Yeah.
When she was going in to check the wiring and she was making marks on the wall, was that something to do with cabin pressure? How many times she comes in? And
It was, yeah. That
I
the
didn't know
idea
that.
is there's only so much air in the ship. Every time she uses that airlock
That makes
out of the
sense.
pressurized part of the
So
ship,
that's
and into the
why.
unpressurized,
Details. I love the
whatever
details
amount
of
of air
the
is
show.
in that
Come
airlock is
on.
gone.
I love it.
So we have a scene
Intelligent
where she's
people
looking
making
at a little
intelligent
plate on the
entertainment.
wall,
Amazing.
the cubic volume of that airlock.
Also, she
And you see her
calculated
sort of
how.
mentally do the math of how much
I
cubic
love
volume
this.
of air is in
I didn't know
the
this.
rest
I
of the
didn't
ship.
know why she was
and how
doing
much
that.
she's gonna every time she has vented some air,
I love this.
because you're never getting it back.
And Delgado, he wants to go right into Pilot Station. And Avasarala
Murder
kind of pushes
everyone.
back. Avasarala at the beginning of the series would have
She
made
was
that
never a
choice.
murderer.
The Expanse is something that you were like, this would be an idea that you were kind of thinking would be an interesting game, and you were bringing friends over to kind of experiment with it. And
The idea had originally been a video game setting, and
Yeah, that was just me and Ty and our wives. It was just 4 people playing in that one.
and what was
That's
your first?
cool.
I thought, holy shit, he's done all the hard work. This is amazing. No, he had like a binder full of the information. Anytime I asked him a question, any question, he knew the answer to it just immediately. World building this gigantic, gorgeous setting. I was like, I know how to write books. Let's just, do this real quick and it'd be fun.
Now imagine if I could travel back in time and I was at that moment and I told you guys what the Expanse was going to become.
Very gratified to hear that and not believed you, but that'd be fine. I don't think Ty would have been surprised.
Yeah, do I
He's
have
not
time to do
phased
a
by anything.
successful television show
Yeah.
and scream and yell at each other?
One
but I
of
don't
them was a
ever see it.
protege of
Ty
George
has
R. R.
this
Martin.
game. You said it.
I think it was
you
Ty.
thinks it would make a great book.
And you can see that
How do you
in the
guys
character
start to
build
dial
of
in,
all
like,
the
process
of all the
look
people
like?
in the Expanse.
My first idea
George
for
R.
how
R.
this was gonna be is
Martin's
I'd go over
knowledge of
and he'd tell
doing
me what
that is
happened and I'd write it.
incredible.
Now that you've written the book and now you're on the show and you're getting into screenwriting, what was that transition? Right? Have you guys written any screenplays before?
we'd played around with it. We didn't know what we were doing.
You know what's funny is I remember Ty first season really taking everything in, going to every meeting, kind of learning everything. Fourth season is like, he was running things. So it's like,
So the only thing that keeps my interest is if I don't know how to do something and I think I can learn it.
It just goes to show you how you should never limit yourself to one skill, one career, or anything that's just putting you in a box. I mean, everybody can learn anything. You just need to let yourself in and face your fears and face your insecurities and just plow through them. I really admire when people have the strength and the courage to do something outside of their comfort zone. And most of the time, if you have perseverance, you will succeed. And yeah, who doesn't like a good success story, right?
We didn't know how the whole thing was going to end until about halfway through book 2.
I knew sort of in very, very general terms. So I'm good with titles and last lines in the book. Daniel does everything in the middle.
Not the action. I don't do the action. So what if instead of a gunfight, we have some guy just sitting around meditating on death? Would that be cool? Yeah. And Ty says, no, we have to have a gunfight.
So what are the things that really made you fall in love with storytelling and wanting to be a writer?
Arthur Clarke's short story, The 9 Billion Names of God, was what introduced me to science fiction. Twilight Zone, whatever was there. Gomer.
That was what was on TV when you got home from school. Twilight Zone and Alfred Hitchcock Presents.
Yep.
When I started watching Twilight Zone, I remember Twilight Zone Marathon, and I stayed up all night. I just loved it. We had Thomas Jane on a few episodes back, and we started talking about Alien. He was talking about how powerful that movie was to him. But
I actually like this conversation, how they are like reminiscing of the times when they were like younger and watching something that influenced their tastes, let's say, or interests, or love for the storytelling. When I got into sci-fi was Star Trek Voyager. When that was airing on TV, I was completely engrossed into it. And then I got into TNG and I got into Deep Space Nine and it just snowballed from there. Yeah, let me know which book or TV show got you into sci-fi if it wasn't The Expanse.
There was a period when science fiction novels especially became very insular. They became very sophisticated. They became very interested in making sure that the right readers got it. And we tried to make this a science fiction story that people who didn't write or didn't read science fiction could still enjoy.
Which is when you meet somebody and they say, "Oh, I don't like tequila." What they mean is they've had shitty tequila, and so they don't like tequila. So when somebody says like, I don't like sci-fi, I've watched some really terrible sci-fi and I didn't like it. If we can get people to take a sip of The Expanse, even the people who generally don't like sci-fi go, "Oh, this is not what I thought. This is something else. This is scotch."
Most books fail. I mean, the vast majority of books that come out will have fewer than 1,000 readers and vanish.
Amazon had something like 6.5 million books that were available. And to be in the top million, you had to sell one book a month. Titles on Amazon sell fewer than one book a month.
Hell.
Wow.
And considering even now, like probably he was checking that a couple of years ago, but the last like 5-6 years, there's so many people that are self-publishing, and they usually go just straight to ebook. And I think probably now like there's like dozens of millions of books out there. Yeah, I had to consider that I was thinking of writing a science fiction book. Yeah, that's never gonna happen.
I mean, if you're one of those 5.5 million books, literally no one is buying your book.
Ty's description of the TV show The Expanse, where he says it's just an expensive commercial for his books.
Yeah, the joke.
It's probably going to be boring as shit for the fans, but at least we're enjoying it.
What the hell?
That's the title of my autobiography. Boring as shit for the fans.
Next time, we're going to be discussing 509. Please like 509. And subscribe.
All right, is it just me, or this just flew by? This just flew by. So yeah, like I love that they had this like little bit of a book talk, because yeah, nowadays you can publish your own book like that. Like just it's actually quite easy. It does cost you money, but it's not as hard as it was before. Even though it's still better to go traditionally, to publish a book traditionally, because then you get like a little bit of support from the publisher and stuff like that. But nowadays there's so many books out there, and even though some of them are poorly edited and they're not really being marketed anywhere, but still there are many success stories in that area as well. So yeah, I like this. I like this Aftershow actually quite a bit. All right, so let's see each other next time when we watch 509.